we have a new year, right? New year, new beginnings,
That's
and
right.
I'm excited for this new school year. So thank you everybody for joining us. And we're looking forward for this wonderful school year ending in 2024. So Ashley, you ready for 2024? I know I
Yep.
am. I
I'm
was.
excited.
I
A new
am
start for
too.
sure.
I
Yeah.
am too. And we have a great Ask Epic today. So I was really excited to get us going. But again, thank you all for joining us today on this installment of Ask Epic. We meet every week to discuss all things Epic. We wanted to provide new to Epic families and returning families a place to learn about all the opportunities we offer. I'm Carla Smitherman. I'm with the Epic Development Team.
Hey, everybody, and I'm Ashley Brown, and I'm also from the Epic Development Team. So we're really excited to be back again. We had a little bit of a break through Christmas, and yeah, we're excited to get started for, I guess you could say, a new season of Ask Epic. I would say season two, maybe.
Season two, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And so those of you that are hopping on and joining us, if you have questions or comments, we just ask that you put it in the chat box right there on the right side of your screen, and we will address all of those. If you have something that maybe you'd like to talk about that just needs a little more one-on-one attention or something really specific, I am going to put our team phone number and email address down in the chat box. So I'm going to do that right now.
And Ashley does that. Again, we welcome everybody back to, I like that second season of Epic. Ashley, I think I'm going to steal that one. Our second season of Epic we've started. And today we're going to learn more about a new program at Epic called Epic Beginnings. We're joined by Shalina Miller. Hi, Shalina. And she's going to tell us more about how Epic is serving families in our community. Thank you for joining us today. Before we get started, we always have a wonderful opportunity for everyone to share a tip with us, Shalina. And today we don't want to, will not be any different. So we like these tips to be able to give our families, new and returning, just something to kind of set them up for success for the future, for success with Epic. So you want to share with us one idea that you might have for our
Sure.
families?
Well, my own children were in Epic for a while, and I get to talk to families all the time. And I think the number one thing that has really helped families is just staying connected with other Epic families. And there are so many different ways to do that, but just feeling like you have a community within Epic, I think really helps.
That is a really good one. We have so many ways that we can stay connected. We have family engagement expos currently going on throughout the state. We have so many activities that they can just hop in and get connected with other families. So that's a really good one. Thank you so much for sharing. I think the one that I would share with everybody is just to stay connected also with your teacher. If you can make sure that you do that. If you are new to Epic, it's possibly a different for you. You may have never had a this type of model before. So make sure you stay really connected with your teacher. It's a little different than dropping your student off and waving goodbye and giving them a kiss on the cheek, right, Miss Shalina? It's a lot different. So we want to make sure that you, because as you're learning this new way or new model of learning, just stay connected with your teacher. So that's one of my wonderful tips. How about you, Ashley? Do you have something you might want to share with everyone today?
Um, Gosh, I'm so sorry. I was trying to figure out, it looks like I know Lauren is saying her chat isn't working. So I apologize. I'm kind of trying to figure that out really
Oh,
quickly,
that's
how to
okay.
get the chat working. But oh, okay, just kidding. That's okay,
She's
good.
got
I'm
it
glad you
now.
figured that
Good.
out, Lauren, because I was like, oh my goodness, I do not know how to fix that. So that's what I was over here doing. But thank you so much for sharing those tips. Those are really helpful. And so just to kind of dive in today, like Carla said, we're talking with Shalina today about Epic Beginnings. And so, being a part of this Epic family, we try really hard to offer resources for obviously your student, but something that's new is trying to offer resources for other members of your family, including our younger ones. It can be hard with busy families. You've got sports, you've got meetings with your teacher, you have doctor's appointments. And so it can be really hard to meet the educational needs or any just needs in general of each of your students or each of your children, that can be tricky. And so what we're trying to do now is to provide additional support for these younger ones in their early learning years. And so Epic Beginnings, if you haven't heard of it yet, it's a free family support program that's designed to prepare students from birth all the way up to age 5. So that's when they start school, that reside in a household of at least one Epic student. So the idea is we're going to try to help serve these younger kids that haven't quite started school yet, but one of their older siblings is an Epic student, and just provide resources for the child and for the parent. And so I think it's a really unique opportunity. I've never heard of this before from other schools, so I think this is really great.
I do too. I think it's a wonderful program, especially we have so many families that are starting they've gotten their family started and they've got younger siblings coming up. What do we do with them? Well, Shalina's got some answers for us today, right, Shalina? So I guess one of the first questions I have to get us started, can you tell us how Epic Beginning got its start? How did you get started? How did it get started?
Most definitely. So we were listening to our parents, we were listening to our teachers. Admin were noticing that parents were asking a lot of questions about, what do I do with my young child? What should I be having them do to get ready for school? Questions about, do I need to prepare them on an iPad? Just all the questions about what should we be doing. And so our administration is amazing, and they listen really well. And so they put together a team, which I was lucky enough to be a part of, to help design this program. And it is my true heart. So that is where a lot of my background comes from. Is in early childhood and helping families who have young children. And so we began Epic Beginnings.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I know that a lot of families are going to benefit. So who is the program exactly meant for? I know you kind of talk about it a little bit, but just kind of give us a little bit more details about that.
So this program is meant for any Epic family who has a young child in their home. And as Ashley said before, it's birth to school age. So whatever school age looks like for you and your family. Some choose to send their kids to school at preschool, and some kids or parents choose to send their kids to school at kindergarten. Either way, we want your children to be part of it, and we want your family to be a part of it. But I also want to mention too that if it's not your child, but maybe it's your student's child. So we do have a lot of student parents in Epic as well.
Okay, that's wonderful. I love that we're helping not only some of our students have children, right? And so they're going to get assistance with those kids as well. Can you be really specific with me? So exactly kind of assistance does Epic Beginnings provide? What so far? What have some of our families benefited? How have they benefited?
Well, we provide a lot of different resources for families. So we do have an activity calendar that's posted on our Epic Beginnings website that just provides an option of daily activities they can do with their children. We have community resources as well. We offer resource fairs and coffee talks, time to get together with other families that have young children.
Awesome. Thank you so
That
much for
is
sharing
very
that,
good.
Shalina.
That's good.
Oh, sorry, Carla, did you have one more question? I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no, you're good. That's good. I love all those ideas, especially the coffee chats. Tell me a little bit more about those. What does that look like? What would be if I'm a parent and I just, kind of feeling a little bit isolated maybe, and I have a young child and I'm a student with Epic. I've got I don't know, maybe a 2-year-old. So how would I reach out to you to become a part of that?
Well, there's many ways that you can sign up for these events. One of them is that we are always on our Epic calendar that's online. So you can press on our links there. We should be linked in the Epic Beginnings calendar that has all those activities on there. We also send out emails to all of our families that have checked in their ILP that they do have young children at home. So if you aren't receiving those emails and you would like to be on that email list, you can shoot us an email at epicbeginnings@epiccharterschools.org, and we will get you added to that list.
Okay. That sounds good. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to also mention that our events are also in the family engagement newsletter that come out every month. So
Very good. Thank you. I was going to say, were there any other, you answered my question. I was just going to say, were there any other places that would let us know about where your activities are? But I do like the fact that, so there are a couple of ways, things that you stated that I want to reiterate. The first thing is that it's on the ILP, which is that individualized learning plan when a family member first sits down with a teacher, that they would designate that they do have a younger child that might be able to participate. So that's the first opportunity, correct? And then the second one is, let's say they miss that and they don't check the box, they still can reach out to you, basically, correct? And let you know that they're interested in participating, right?
it happens more than you think. It's a new
Okay.
questionnaire with your teacher this year, so it's missed more often than you think. So I get emails all the time saying, "Hey, we don't get your emails. We want them. How can I do that?" And I just add you right to it. So
Very good. Okay. So that was my major questions is, how do I get involved, and how do I make sure we let families know how they can be involved and participate. Okay. Thank you
Shalina,
very
could you
much.
Oh, I'm sorry, Carly. Could you tell us a little more about what to expect like at the coffee talks? Tell us a little bit about what families do there.
sure. So one of the things that we do is we have coffee because that is just an invitation for parents. It creates community, it creates an opportunity to sit down and just be together. Also, I love coffee, so it helps. But when you get there, you not only have coffee for families, but you have a variety of activities set up for your children. And I just want to make sure that I emphasize children. So we want you to bring your young child, but we also encourage you to bring your older children as well. We know as Epic families that you are typically home with your child and you don't have somewhere else for them to go, so you can do events with just your young child. So we encourage you to bring all of your children, and we'll have activities for them all to do. If you need space set up so that your child can work on schoolwork during that time, that's also available. You just have to communicate with us and we'll see what we can do to get your family's needs met. But for the littles, which is what we really try to focus on, we have a variety of activities set up that just encourage learning. We really try to teach through play as much as possible. So you're not going to be finding worksheets, but you're going to be finding play opportunities. And then you also get to do a make and take. So each quarter we do a different theme. This quarter is focused on math and teaching math birth through school age. So you get to do a make and take to take home with you, so you have that activity for the rest of the year.
That's so exciting. I love that they get a little something to look forward to. It's a fun event. They get to get out. And I think you said this already, but to me, this is all about community building. For the students, I think it's a good opportunity for these kids to get around other kids their age, but also for the parents, because as a parent, you need that community. It's easy to become so isolated. And I love that you guys are centering it around coffee, because I agree with you. If you've got free coffee there, I'm happy. I'm good. So I think that's so special. And so let's see. I don't think I asked you this yet, but where do these coffee talks take place?
We do try to do them all over the state, but I am the entire Epic Beginnings department right now. So this quarter, they will be held in Lawton, Enid, somewhere in the OKC area, Tulsa, and Durant.
Wonderful. So you really are trying to kind of hit everywhere. And then I don't think we've talked about this either. Do we have to sign up in advance to be able to attend?
You don't have to sign up in advance in order to attend, but we do prefer that so that we make sure we have everything that your children need. So if we don't know that a 14-year-old is coming, we probably won't bring things for that age group of children. But if we do, we're able to. So
Okay.
you can sign up through Eventbrite, and it should be linked in all of the calendars as well as the Family Engagement Department newsletter. It's super easy. And then you get reminders that it's coming up too.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. So I know that you talked about earlier the student parent population at Epic. You and we met last week and we kind of talked about this a little bit more, but it was really interesting to hear that, there's a good chunk of our students that are also parents at Epic. And so, we should try to serve those families as well. Can you tell me a little bit about the opportunity that those student parents have at our coffee talks?
Yeah. So we want to make sure, one, that they're feeling welcome at our coffee talks, and they get to bring their children and participate if they'd like to. But following the coffee talks at every event, we will be offering student parents only 2 hours of free childcare. So what we do is we bring whatever that child will need for those 2 hours, and then the student will get to work inside the building. So they have to stay on site. They can choose to work on schoolwork, or they can choose to meet with their teacher one-on-one, something that has to do with completing school. But we reserve that room for them. They don't have to worry about any of that. They just show up and bring their work and bring their child, and then they get 2 hours of uninterrupted time.
I think that's great. And I mean, yeah, I can't imagine. I'm sure it would be so hard to balance getting your school done. And I mean, I know how it is when my kids come home from school. They're all over the place, and it's very hard to get my work done some days, right? When they have snow days like yesterday. So that's such a great opportunity that they have a chance to, one, first build that community, right? And get ideas, get resources, because you guys are kind of teaching them about here's the best way to, like you said, learn through play. And then but then after that, like they can get something out of it. As far as, you want some time for uninterrupted work, I'm wondering, can I show up and bring my kids? Just kidding. But that sounds great. So I love that. So I'm really excited for these coffee talks, and I can't wait to see them grow.
Shalina, we saw you last week at the expo. You were busy as ever. So tell us a little bit about some of the other expos that you're going to be participating in, and some of the activities that you'll be doing, things like the busy bags. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we brought something new to the expos this year. After the fall back to school expos, I noticed that so many parents were having to leave the parent classes because their younger children needed something to do. They needed to walk around. They needed to be busy. And so I created some busy bags, and I actually have one right here. So these are your busy bags that you can check out. It's super easy. There's a QR code on there. This is a busy bag for toddlers. And so we just stuff it with things like books and cars, some sensory things, anything that just might be new to keep your child busy for a little bit longer. And of course, the bag is going to keep them busy too, because it's got all kinds of fun things already attached to the bag. But we'll have these available at all of the expos, except I won't be at Durant this time. And so you can check these out. You can take them and use them the entirety of the expo, and then you just bring them back to me when you're done, and I will get them cleaned up and put away and ready for the next family to use.
That is a great resource. I know parents are going to be checking that out for sure. Sounds wonderful. Tell us tell us about the diaper drive. What about that?
Yeah, so the diaper drive, and I actually have a image to share if I can. Is that okay, Ashley? Can I share? Oh,
Yeah, of course.
It's saying it's disabled.
Oh, let me see. I'm not usually the one that sets these up. Let me see.
I tried to put multiple panelists can share out simultaneously. I don't know if it's
Oh, now it's letting me.
Okay, good.
All right, so this is our diaper drive image. And so you can drop off diapers, wet wipes, any baby items that you'd like to donate to our winter expos. If you don't want to bring it in, or you're not planning on coming to an expo, but you want to participate, or maybe you just forgot, because let's be honest, we all have kids, that happens, we forget. You can just scan this QR code on here, and that will take you to our Amazon wish list, and you can just donate items that way. You can also drop them off at any of our micro sites. I think the only one that isn't taking donations is the Sapulpa site, but all of our other locations, 50 Penn and the Logan building, are taking donations. So this diaper drive will directly go towards any of our EPIC families in need, but specifically those student parents that we talked about earlier, As Ashley said, we have a unique population of student parents because we are virtual and we allow for opportunities for them to complete schoolwork while taking care of their child. And so we just want to make sure that we support them and that their child has what they need. And so I am just so excited to be able to do this and support all of our EPIC families.
Yeah, that is phenomenal. I love this. This is wonderful. So everybody, make sure you look at this QR code and make sure you bring those diapers and wet wipes. I don't know about you all, but I haven't had one this age in a while, but diapers are very expensive. So please bring those diapers to any of these expos. So thank you for that. Thank you for thinking of our families and our students alike. I just think this is a great way to support our families. Tell us now about the coats and resources. I saw a cute little one last week at the expo trying on a coat. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think she wore that coat the entire expo. It was shiny purple and she had this fur hood and she was just so excited. But EPIC was donated with a large amount of coats for our families. And we thought one of the best ways to get them out there would be to bring them to the expos for families. And so if you have a child that needs a jacket. If you're an adult that needs a jacket, we have adult sizes too. You can come to the expos. One of the beautiful things is if we don't have your size right there, we do have a form that you can fill out and tell me what your needs are, and then I can help get your needs met. So we want everybody to stay warm and be comfortable this winter. So.
Absolutely. With these sub-degree temperatures recently, I'm sure that young lady and many others are going to be very supported and happy because of your coat drive or our coat drive. So thank you for that. So again, there's
Carla?
another way. Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was
No,
just going to
go
say
ahead.
we've got a comment from Lindsay, and
Okay.
Lindsay just wanted to say that she thinks it's so neat that you guys have included Durant in your coffee talk schedule. She
Yay.
said,
Go
"Thank you. I
Durant.
know Southern Oklahoma families love events in our neck of the woods." And I agree. I think it's so great that all of the feds, you guys all try to be in every neck of the woods in Oklahoma. I think that's just great. So thank you for your comment, Lindsay.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Lindsay, if you have young children, I hope I get to see you there. So I am at all the events. So it's nice because especially when I get to go back to another location again, I get to re-see all of these families and build connections and get to know their little ones. So I hope you get to make it, or if you know someone who can make it, please do.
Very good. Well, we want to make sure we have all of Oklahoma supported, include Durant and all of wonderful places throughout the state. So we thank you for your due diligence to get everywhere. Anyway, so last question I had is that we're talking about hosting resource fairs. And it sounds like a great opportunity to partner with local businesses and services that can assist families in all sorts of ways. Can you tell us a little bit more about resource fairs?
Yeah, so we offer resource fairs twice a year. Our first ones were in the fall and offered just on their own. So we just had just resource fairs for our families. This spring, we will be offering them in combination with Literacy Day. And so we'll get a little bit more into what that looks like and why you should bring your whole family. But resource days are really just an opportunity for families to come. There's always going to be activities for your littles because I never want your littles there and you stressed out because they're bored or need something to do. So there's always going to be stuff that's fun for them to participate in, whether they are an infant or whether they are 10 or 12. Just bring your kids. There'll be something for them to do. And there will be people for them to hang out with while you get to check out the vendors in the same location. So we will have community partners there. So we had WIC, we had like the Infant Crisis Center, we had your local library system, and then we also have EPIC vendors as well. So from that vendor list that your students get to utilize with the Learning Fund, we looked for any of the vendors that also serve young children. So you could be getting information for your young child, but you could also be getting information for your EPIC student as well, which is really helpful. This spring one will also be including anything that helps students with literacy. So even if they don't serve young children, but they do offer literacy based skills or programs, then we will have them on site as well if they'll be invited to come. Our ELA Plus department will be there. It sounds like RTI will be there, and some other EPIC literacy teams. So it'll be a lot of fun. In addition to that, the Family Engagement Department is also bringing a few other events. So we'll have our Scholastic Book Fair on site, which is always a good time to get books. And then we'll have a read aloud corner. So we have some special guests coming to read stories aloud to your children. And there'll be a variety. So not just for the littles, not just for the bigs, but a little bit of everything. And it sounds like we're going to have some great, maybe dressed up characters to read aloud as well. So we're pretty excited about it. And then we'll also have a book walk. So your children can read a little bit and exercise a little bit with our Healthy Habits Coordinator and earn a t-shirt while they're there for the students. So
That's exciting. You guys are going to have a lot going on that day.
Yes, and it is during Read Across America Week. So that's why we push towards a literacy focus. And then if your student is, or if your child that's in Epic Beginnings is registered for the resource fair, they will receive a free book to take home with them as well.
Oh, I love that. So that's great. So there may be, because like you said, the literacy, or sorry, what is it? The literacy day, it's kind of its own separate thing, but you guys are going to just be taking place like at the same location, I guess. So like if the families are coming with their older kids for some of those events, please like go by the resource fair and see what's over there, right?
Yeah, and we're all operating it together. So I will have some literacy-based activities set up for your children. And there'll also be a care closet. So if you have some needs that you need met, whether it's clothing, hygiene, school items, we'll have a team there to help you shop for some things that you might need or connect you with other resources as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know I actually went to the fall resource fair in Oklahoma City, and it was great. There was a lot of cool like you said, like vendors there that offered different things, and it was really neat to kind of walk around and see who was there. So, for families, I would highly recommend you check that out. For those of you that are like, what do I do with these kids in the winter when they're just going crazy inside the house? Go to a resource fair and get some ideas. Maybe find some fun, like epic vendors that can get their energy out. Well, that's great. So I know we've talked about a lot of events that you guys are doing right now. And I know as a parent, if I don't see it in front of my face, I just cannot remember it, right? Could you tell us, what do you think is the best way to keep up with all of the events that Epic Beginnings has scheduled?
Well, like I said before, we are in the family engagement newsletter. If you aren't finding those or you can't find them, when my kids were in Epic, I would just search in my Google search, in my Gmail, search for family engagement department, and those would pop right up. It's also on our Epic website in two places. So we are on the Epic calendar, and then we have our own Epic Beginnings website. And then if you're just like, I can't find them, just email me and I will get them to you. So Epic Beginnings at epiccharterschools.org.
Wonderful. Thank you, Shalina. And I will say too, if ever, excuse me, if ever you just forget who you're supposed to reach out to for all these different things we talk about in the webinars, I also always share our Carla and I's department email. You can always reach out to us and we will direct you where you've got to go. We will get you hooked up with Shalina here. So we're really excited for all the great things you guys have coming up this semester.
We are. And I tell you what, I'm just super happy about this resources and everything you are offering. The things that you're doing are so amazing, Shalina. So thank you for everything you're doing for Epic and Epic families. This is your first year. So I guess halfway through, are you already tired?
No,
You can't be yet, right?
I can't be yet. And honestly, I'm just excited about what we're able to do with families, for families. And that keeps me going. So, the joy on the little girl's face when she got a coat, man, that pushes me through. So I just enjoy every moment of it.
Well, that's amazing. We love that. That was great. I love seeing that last week. So anyway, well, so what do you see in the future for the program? I mean, it's almost like the sky could be the limit for you. I know you've got such great beginnings with Epic Beginnings. So how about tell us a little bit about parenting classes or some of the other things that you're thinking about.
Yeah, so we are hoping to grow. So like I said, it's just me this year. And so we are hoping to grow and offer the things that parents are asking for. And some of those things that I've had many parents ask for are parenting classes. They want more coffee talks. So we're hoping that we can possibly offer at least once a month in different locations. And then we're also looking towards being able to offer childcare at expos and then parenting classes as an elective for student parents. So lots of things happening, I hope, in the future, and just more opportunities in more places around our state.
Well, that sounds wonderful. We're so grateful to have Epic Beginnings, like I said, as a complimentary family support program specifically crafted to assist children in homes with Epic enrolled students, enrolled children. And students, right? These resources are designed to empower EPIC families, aiding them in preparing every child under their care for the school journey ahead. So we're just happy this program is in existence. I think it was long overdue, and you're the right person for the program. You look so happy and so fulfilled over there the other day. So we just want to let you know from the development side, we'll do anything we can to support you. I know the other day I was happily answering the question. Oh, I know we've got a resource for you. So it's really great to have you with us and have you doing all the work you're doing.
Thank you so much, Carla. I really do feel the love from your guys' team. So I appreciate it so much.
Very good.
Well, we appreciate you getting on today and sharing more with us about Epic Beginnings. And I hope that this was helpful for a lot of families. If you haven't gotten involved with Epic Beginnings yet, but you've got small children at home, please get involved. Reach out to us, reach out to Shalina. We will get you going on that because we want you to, there's so many things, we say this all the time, but there's so many great things being offered. And sometimes families just don't know. And so we want to give you the resources and get you going so that you can take advantage of these programs because they're truly amazing. And so thank you, Shalina, for all your work and for joining us today.
Yes.
But if you're watching and maybe you still have questions about this program or anything else we've discussed today, or maybe you're not an enrolled family yet, but you're considering it, I would love to hear from you. Carla would love to hear from you. Anyone from our team would. We're there to answer questions about Epic, to kind of discuss what it looks like to be a student at Epic. That's what we're here for. And so I've put our team contact information in the chat, but just one more time, it's always an easy route to just send us an email at edt@epiccharterschools.org. And somebody from our team will reach out to you and work with you one-on-one to give you the information that you need to make the best choice for your students.
Yes, shout out to the best specialists in the land who love answering a lot of questions, right? Right, Ashley?
Right, that's right.
Anyway, thanks again for joining us today. Come back in 2 weeks for Ask Epic. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.